The tourism board in Gambia has a stark warning for British tourists. The West African country says British women should stop coming to the country looking for flings with younger men. That's a euphemism. The director of the tourism board there has suggested he wants to send what he calls promiscuous pensioners packing, as the country wants to attract what were described as quality tourists who come to enjoy the culture instead of sex.
Yuka Takaoka has been dubbed the real-life yandere. For those who aren't into the culture, yanderes are possessive women who turn violent when they're scorned. She stabbed her boyfriend in the liver over jealousy while he was sleeping and was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. After Yuka stabbed him, she sat on the floor, called the police, and smoked on the floor. Here's a photo of the aftermath along with some fan art. She grew a fan base off her notoriety because she's a cute Japanese woman who loves to cosplay. I'm not sure if these are just cross posts from one of her social medias though. Her fans described it as too beautiful, criminal, and someone started a GoFundMe for her. It was taken down because it was mass reported. Imagine if Yuka looked like Ugly Betty. Do you think there would be people saying that they will never stop supporting her? Do you think they would start fundraisers for her? Of course not. They make excuses and start victim blame because they're getting the rocks off. Cameron Herron killed 2 pedestrians while street racing at 102 miles per hour in a 40 miles per hour zone. The pedestrians had right away and he was sentenced to 24 years in prison. Scores of people were saying that he was too cute and that he was a poor boy that looked innocent. Another case of Peel getting the rocks off and so Peel make excuses for him. Believing that he deserves freedom is a moral cloak for them getting to fantasize about one day being with him. Moral hazards are when people who do evil go unpunished, and so that gives an opening for more evil to flourish because people see that there's no consequences for their actions, and so they keep doing evil or start doing evil because there's no fear of consequence. When people are able to get the rocks off, they don't care about moral hazards. They make these moral cloaks for their actions because no one wants to say this person turns me on, and so they should face no consequence.
All we want in the depths of our heart is for somebody to do this. Anyone out there attempting to woo a woman, I'm gonna show you a secret move. This is a move nobody's talking about, but I know for a fact all women want. You see this? All we want in the depths of our heart is for somebody to do this. You could be a villain slaughtering my people across the 7 kingdoms. What a red flag. But that's all it takes. Just a little whoop. Huh. This moment has yet to happen to me organically, but God, I long for it. What even is the point of romance if a man cannot slightly tilt my chin up with a sword?
I need to segue and go in a rant here. PsychoMath did not create the original video. Momo O'Brien did. It's absolutely ridiculous that he would watermark it without crediting and linking to the original creator. I have no idea how to find Momo's original video, and if I could, I would clip it myself to exclude Ho's watermark. The point of me showing the video is that there are people out there who will sacrifice everything and everyone in their life to get their rocks off. Their friends and their family, and some women have this fantasy because they get to evade responsibility. Someone else did the murdering and is so strong that she has no choice but to go along with a man's plan. If it was a scenario where she simply ran away, she would have to deal with the guilty conscience of leaving everyone else. But since they're gone, she's a free spirit. She sees the villain, who would be the raider who burned down her village, as her hero. But to the world, she can pretend that she didn't want it, and it's easy for her to frame herself as a victim and move on to someone else if it doesn't work out for her. If you would be with a soul woman, she would leave you the moment she sensed weakness. It could be refusing to confront a stranger, which could get you stabbed and killed, and she would see you as a weak man for pulling your health first. She demands strength and looks, but if you lose your strength, she's gone. She wants a fantasy of a man who just destroys every obstacle in her path, not the reality of a person looking after their own well-being. That's what people don't understand about wishing women valued strength for her looks. The kind of women who value strength for her looks would desert you the moment you showed weakness. There's no compassion or love in them. It's a twisted fantasy that they would have, and you would exist only to serve them. It's a walking contradiction that they expect. They want you to be dangerous, independent, and invincible, but at the same time expect you to be subservient to her. You're supposed to be above the world, but she's supposed to be above you, making her by proxy above the world. Your safety and happiness are just as important as the people who you would have slaughtered in a fantasy. You turn her on, but she doesn't actually love you, and if someone else was stronger than you, then she's just gone. This strength by proxy isn't just with relationships, but with dog ownership. They're bullies, but they know they're not allowed to outright threaten people or wave a gun around, so they get a bully breed. They know that society is forced to tolerate the endangerment and harassment of everyone else, so that's one reason both men and women get dogs, to intimidate people.
They are constantly trying to tell us that dog attacks are rare. Yet these same dog nuts get off on intimidating people, scaring people. They get off on seeing people startled, terrified by the presence of their dog. I want to thank the people who sent me emails. I try to use as much material from emails as possible. You know, usually when people want to send emails, it's something well thought out. Someone sent me this, and I thought it was very good footage. This woman just getting off on walking her dog around in public and seeing people scared. The title of the video is, quote, "Scaring People with Our Dangerous Extra Large Pit Bull." Listen to that. That is the name of the video. If you go to the search engine, type that in, and this video will come up. Look at that. Look at that. These are the loving creatures that are so loving, little angels. All eyes are on that mutt. They are all worried. They are all concerned. This is a terrorist. There is nothing loving about these things. And these people have some nerve trying to project these things as angels, putting them on commercials everywhere. I mean, they really elevate dogs to the status of a deity. Why would you do that with something this dangerous and bloodthirsty? Turn this stupid music off. Everybody is on edge. Look at that nasty, ugly, disgusting, overgrown parasite. Overgrown rat. And dogs are look, got that little tiny boy walking that dog. People, when you see this in public, call the police. Call the police. Don't play around with these people. Do not give them any more room to breathe than they already have. A boy this small, look, that dog is too powerful for most grown people to control. How much control do you think this child would have over that mutt if it decided to attack someone? That thing is basically roaming free. No one is safe. Right? When you see this in public, pull out your phone, call the police, tell them that a vicious dog is roaming around under the control of a child who is not capable, physically capable of controlling it. You heard that previous dog nut talk about a well-bodied person. Do you think this is a well-bodied person? That boy would have no control over that mutt if it decided to attack someone. They think this is cute. They get off on seeing people in danger. They are endangering everyone, and they're getting off on it. That's the mentality of these people. Again, these are sick people. I don't care how normal they look. I don't care how attractive they may be, how normal they may sound. If they entertain, embrace this lifestyle, they are troubled, disturbed, sick. They even got the child around this worthless mutant. This is so infuriating to me. Unbelievable. This thing, again, is essentially off leash when it is under the control of a child. Even that man, I guarantee you, would not have much control over that mutant if it decided to attack someone. Very disgusting, very disgusting. This thing, again, this thing is essentially off leash. Got this little silly boy holding that huge, and that is a huge pit bull. I would have called the police on them. There is no excuse, there is no reason the police should not come up. I can't believe, like, nobody called the police. Kids everywhere, people everywhere. Anything can set that stupid mutt off. And what do people get out of looking at these ugly, hideous monsters? I will never wrap my mind around that. Ugly, overgrown rat.
This obsession, this getting the rocks off at the cost of the entire society, doesn't end with dogs. I believe that people who obsess over dogs are the same way, just different subjects that they get the rocks off of.
I'm gonna warn everybody up front. This might be one of the most disturbing videos you ever seen on YouTube. I told y'all about these sick, demented, twisted, disgusting dog owners. Well, it might be worse than I thought. There is a forum on the internet called Beast Forum. It is where people who engage in bestiality come together and talk about their experiences having sex with animals. And I just want everybody to know that there are over 1.5 million registered members on that website. Now, let me put that in perspective for some people who might not understand just how significant that number is, how great that number is. Go to Donald Trump's website. Can we all agree that Donald Trump is popular? Can we all agree that we come across Donald Trump supporters on a daily basis? Yet Donald Trump only has 151,000 registered members on his website. Think about that. Marinate on that for a minute. Right? Stormfront.org. This is a popular website. Back when Obama was elected, they got so much traffic that they had to shut down. It just killed their bandwidth. And on Stormfront.org, they only have 321,000 members. Right? This might be the most shocking of all. The #1 selling car in the world in 2015 was the Toyota Corolla. We talking worldwide, not just the United States. And in that year, they sold 1.3 million Toyota Corollas. Now, how often do you see a Toyota Corolla when you're just out and about? You see several of them. So you have to understand how popular it is that these sick dog lovers have sexual intercourse with their dogs. You wonder why there's so many single women who are crazy about their dogs, right? You can't even be in a relationship with them if you're not a dog lover. Think about that. They're single, probably been single for a long time, but they are crazy in love with their dog. They sleep with their dog. They kiss their dog. They let their dog lick them in the mouth. They kiss their dog. Think about that. Those are intimate actions. And you don't think you're running across women on a daily basis who having sex with animals, men too, but I'm quite sure it's more popular with the women. I could be wrong. It don't matter. All these dog lovers are sick. They're sick. Are you really trying to tell me that all the dog lovers you come across, it has to dawn on you that a significant number of them engage in bestiality? Just like you see a great number of Toyota Corollas on a daily basis, you see people who engage in sexual intercourse with dogs on a daily basis. This is why I tell men, do not date women who are single and who are in love with their fucking dog, because it is a good chance that her single ass is getting boned by that dog. And when you see these women taking photos with dogs, think about that. Them in a selfie with their dog. I see it on social media websites all the time. Right? Go to dating websites. Go to plentyoffish.com and look at all the animal lovers, the female animal lovers on that website. Keep in mind, these women are single and they are head over heels in love with their dog. It is because they are having sex with their dog. You got to understand, dogs frequently carry parasites, and those parasites get transmitted to their owners, especially when you allow your fucking dog to lick you in the face and to lick all over your body. Sharing close proximity with the fucking thing, you can catch those parasites. I'm talking intestinal worms. This shit is disgusting. Look at that shit. Do you want that? Many of you, it is reported that some 80% of Americans have intestinal worms. And you cannot tell me that many of them have those worms as a result of having sex with their disgusting dog. I told you, these dog owners are disgusting. They not only tolerate that this is a stinking ass animal. I don't care how much you wash a dog, it's still gonna have that stinking ass mildew dog smell. Right? It slobbers, its breath stinks. And these people actually have sex with these animals. I told you, these animal lovers are sick. Animal lovers are disgusting. And you should have, if you are a person of decency, if you have any ounce of civilization in your body, you would avoid animal lovers at all costs.
We have the evidence that this is how these people are. It perfectly explains the moral cloaking and all the excuses that they love to make for dogs. It's because they're getting the rocks off, just like people do with Yuka and Cameron.
Played this at the beginning of this stream because, you know, this particular female
inside her own house.
Really, I thought displayed some overt insanity. You know, it's real easy to see how out of her mind she is. This woman brought in a stray pit bull off the street. Let me play this again.
Captures the woman wrestling with a powerful bulldog a month ago. Sabrina says she spotted Zeus wandering in her neighborhood a month.
She spotted it wandering in the neighborhood. Listen, this is the type of crazy people we're talking about here. Now, we all know the reputation of these bully breeds. This woman saw a stray and it brought it into her house. That's not it.
The animal lover already had a menagerie of a cat, 2 dogs, and birds.
The dog was very friendly. He was so sweet. I would kiss him on the face and hug.
So, within a few days, after bringing that mutt into her home, she's laying in the bed with it like this, as if she's really making love to the thing. You have to question stuff like this. The position that this dog is in, that is reserved for humans only, not animals. You know, you don't need actual intercourse, in my opinion. This is bestiality in my book. For you to be affectionate, cuddled up with a mutt in the bed, because again, if you are laid up in the bed like this with another man or with a man, people would assume that that's your boyfriend or husband. So if you're doing it with a dog, we can assume the same thing. You know, you got to wonder what makes these people so eager to be affectionate like this with dogs. She didn't even raise this thing. This was a stray off the street. She brings it in and kisses it in its face, and she wants a selfie moment, lays in the bed with this mutt. Ain't no telling what else went on between her and this mutt.
Hug him and play with him.
But Zeus was hardly gentle. First, he killed her cat.
I think a lot of people would have said, this dog's got to go right now.
I know, yeah.
Now, the dog killed her cat. Wait a minute, I think it killed something else.
2 days later, he went after her little dog.
Yeah, it killed her cat. Then the mutt killed one of her dogs. She decided to keep the dog. Does not this remind you of abusive relationships where the female is being beaten on and mistreated repeatedly, and she never decides to leave him? These types of people are unstable. In regard to these dog nuts, we have an entire population of people like this. And people like this are dangerous. They are a hazard, safety hazard, a menace to society. They are enablers, and they enable these dogs to wage war on humans.
Would not let go.
You can see Sabrina trying to escape. Her arm is bleeding.
Now she's
So I got
getting
to the front
bit like
door,
an idiot,
and
like the
my dad
idiot
was
that
right
she
here
is.
mowing the grass. And he
Should
immediately
have
stopped.
bit her stupid
And
arm
there's a
off.
broom right here, and he starts beating him.
Sabrina retreated to the house, but Zeus chased her back inside.
He took a huge chunk out of my leg.
Her father is seen trying to get the dog off her.
After I ran into the bedroom and closed the door,
Right.
this is him trying to get at me.
This is
Still.
these are the
Those are the marks, all of that.
Now, that dog attacked her. She escaped into a bedroom, and then that dog kept jumping up on the door, scratching on the door. It tasted blood, and it was still trying to get to her to kill her. Now, this is the same dog that she was feeding, that she was kissing, that she was being affectionate with. And these people fail to admit that dogs are not receptive to that type of affection. They are not like humans. They don't consider that you fed them. They don't know what kisses are. They don't know what hugs are. It is our responsibility as humans, the intelligent species, to understand that these animals or creatures are not receptive to things like that. If we fail to understand that and act on it, then we are out of our minds. It is that simple. There is not a dog nut on this planet who could, with confidence, deny that. These people knowingly dwell in ignorance and denial. These mutts don't love you. They don't love at all. They are not thankful, right? She's the one that's been feeding this thing. Being thankful, that is a human trait. These mutants are completely impulsive, instinct driven. They are nothing but a collection of nerves and neurons. They don't think at all. They only live in the moment. This has been proven. These things are far more dangerous to have in the home than a loaded weapon. Right? I would gladly take a loaded weapon inside the home with children there than to have one of these things inside the home.
Those
are the marks, all of that, yeah.
Look,
Sabrina ended up climbing
that mutt
Yeah.
kept scratching at the door. You know, not once did the dog think to itself, I'm sorry about this. Or let me not do this. Oh, I can't believe, I attacked my provider. Like humans do. Humans, we will do something wrong, and after a minute, we snap out of it. Like, oh, what have I done? Dogs don't do that. This thing wanted to finish her off. Continue to try to get to her. You cannot tell me that it's not a crime, that it's not criminal to own one of these things.
Those are the marks, all of that, yeah.
Sabrina ended up climbing out the bedroom window.
They told my family that they didn't know if I was going to keep my hand.
She's had skin grafts to repair the wounds in her arm and leg. You can see animal control workers apprehending the dog. Her reaction to finding out the dog was put down may surprise you.
I was sad. I started crying because...
She was sad. She started crying. This is the type of insanity possessed by these dog nuts. We're dealing with very unstable people here. This is why I say again, check with your laws and arm yourself. You have to protect yourself from these psychopaths. These people are out of their minds. There's no other way to put it.
Besides this situation, he was a good dog.
Besides this situation, he was a good dog. You know, when Jeffrey Dahmer was not killing anyone, you could call him a good man. I'm quite sure he was polite to someone during his lifetime, right? Ted Bundy, I'm sure at some point during his lifetime, he could be described as a good man when he wasn't mutilating someone. Just because you have moments of peace where that mutt is not attacking you does not mean you can describe it as a good dog. You deal with these things based on what they are, not based on their character. Character is reserved for human judgment, not these things. And people, you get frustrated after a certain point. You know, everything that I'm talking about in this video is common sense. Should be, it is common sense. I'm not going to say should be. It is common sense. And it's scary to know that so many people have a hard time connecting with common sense. My video is buffering.